Doktor, kita boleh start ya?
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed participants and distinguished guests, welcome back to the second day of I-PICTL 2023. We hope you enjoyed the enlightening discussion from yesterday and are ready for another day of insightful conversation. Today, we are delighted to present the GIPP Recipients Research and Innovation Sharing Session, where distinguished recipients will showcase their groundbreaking projects. First, let's hear from Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dr. Rahmita Wirza OK Rahmat, who will present her project titled Cloud-Based Educational Learning System, CELS, with Mobile Holographic Display, MHD, for interactive and integrated learning. This promises to be a fascinating exploration into the intersection of cloud technology and holographic displays in realm of education. Without further ado, allow me to again call Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dr. Rahmah Wirza.
Thank you very much indeed. So should I just share the content? The slide?
Yeah, sure, Doctor.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Sekejap, So as like the MC is explained about my title. Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Prof. Dr. Wirza Rahmat from the Faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology. The title of my project is Cloud-Based Educational Learning System with Mobile Holographic Display for Interactive and Integrated Learning. This actually GIPP in 2019. On that time, there's MCO and a lot of delayed because of this MCO. The team of this project are Prof. Dr. Wong Sulan, Dr. Masnida Khambari, Dr. Jessica Khadij-Ali, and Dr. Seng Beng. So basically, the project is about cloud-based and holographic mobile technologies, which we expect can transform learning experience. We found out that little research exists on using the holographic mobile display to complement learning. And there's no apps integrates holographic mobile display in classroom to aid students. There are few online learning platforms, but using the AR. The rise of mobile devices has led to the development of online learning management systems that provide access to ebooks, papers, and articles. So in this research, we intend to investigate how integrating mobile holographic display applications and cloud-based educational learning system can improve learning in Malaysia higher educations. To accomplish this research goal, the study develops CELS with an automated holographic display functions that allows educators to easily upload notes and supporting images. The main aim of this project is to establish a cloud-based education learning with mobile technology and holographic display to improve learning in Malaysia higher education. So the specific objective to design and introduce an algorithm that automates image uploaded by educators onto CELS to be displayed as a holographic 3D model, to design and integrate CELS with the MHT applications, and to determine whether CELS and interactive MHT platform improve learning among higher education students in Malaysia. So the issues that I think we need to look in that we look into and try to solve is despite its potential benefits, mobile learning is currently not widely adopted in Malaysian higher education. This is primarily due to cost, pedagogical and technological challenges, as well as policy constraints. As a result of being in its early stages, students are currently uncertain about how to effectively engage with this approach. There are a lot of research, there are a lot of activities related to this, but still, the adoptions to the Malaysian higher educations are very minimum. Mobile applications often present a challenge for educators when it comes to modifying the teaching content due to embedded materials. So by providing a solution to this issue, we can empower educators to easily enhance and update their content, resulting in more effective and engaging learning experience for students. So imagine we have numbers of mobile education aid, either using AR or VR or other technologies, but still, when it becomes the apps, educators cannot edit anymore. If they want to edit or enhance or modify, they have to go back to the developers, and developers have to go back to the coding, the script, and modify the content. So what we have in mind is, if all these contents are in this in the system, website system or cloud-based systems, and when users open up the apps, they retrieve the information, they retrieve the text, the content, the 3D models, so they can have a look into their mobile. And then if the educators want to update, want to modify or do something with the content, they can do it in the system. So the apps do not have to be modified. So basically, the methodology is like a normal methodology. We have requirement analysis, we have design, development and system testing, evaluations, documentations. For the requirement analysis, of course, we have interviews, the educators, students in the higher education learning, and we understand what they want, what they require. We try to understand what they required. They're complaining about these mobile apps. Then later we design the system. Then we develop and do the system testing, and we do the evaluations and documentations. So basically, this is the body of this work to reconstruct the 3D and then create the real front sides, arranging to pyramid hologram display, compile the video and project. So the course subject that are selected based on volunteer and suitability in using the holographic display. So we discussed with the team that I get 3 subjects. Among the parameters that will be considered are the 3D model requirement and learning activities needed. This study choose course subject from 3 faculties to be observed. The proposed prototype will be tested with the chosen course notes on students who are currently registered for those course subject. Their facial expression and hand activities will be observed through a video camera in front of the students, and they will have to answer the given questionnaire. This is what we plan when we start the grant. The findings will be analyzed. We analyze the finding. And another aspect of good education software will be looked upon during the design stage and tested in the stage. Features include a simple interface, accessibility exists, speed, and excitement. And then the selected course subject are musculoskeletal system, technological pedagogical content knowledge, and 3D modeling and rendering. Okay. So we managed to create a complete cloud-based educational learning systems with mobile holographic display application that enable users to amend and change the supported 3D model image without having to change the mobile applications. And at the same time, we also managed to add AR elements inside there, and also the stereoscopic view, whereby students can wear the HMD, and at the same time they can learn their studies, their notes. So basically, a CELS that is editable, updatable, dynamic content from the cloud by registered education's lectures. So basically, educations can update their notes, they can update the content. But unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, it is the work done during the Movement Control Order MCO. So we were unable to assess the impact of the teaching and learning. We cannot do the assessment because it's MCO. But however, we were able to test user acceptance. One limitations, talking about limitations of this work, one limitation is that the 3D model content can only be retrieved from the cloud in streaming access file format. So the idea is when we open up the apps, we can retrieve the 3D model from the system. But then we found out that we have to, for the streaming asset from the system towards the apps, we need to do something with this 3D model. So common 3D model formats such as .mbx and .obg are not supported and must be processed in Unity software to obtain a file format that supports Unity asset bundle operations. This can be difficult for medical educators who are not familiar with the development software like Unity. So the administrator must perform the file format conversions and upload the streaming asset files into the cloud storage. So this is actually my oversight. I should have acknowledged the limitation earlier and devised a plan to work around them, because I did not realize this because I'm from computer science. I thought, okay, that's for us, it's easy. But then these systems should be towards others, other experts, other area subject matter. So we have to plan on how to make sure the educators can upload their own 3D models. So for the future directions, the next phase, not the future, at this moment we are doing it, to automate the quizzes from the notes. So if we can, put some elements of AI, we can automate the quizzes from the notes, whenever the lecturer upload the notes, we can automate the quizzes, automate the animations to the models in the database accordingly, to have direct interactions with the holographic objects, and simplify uploading notes and 3D models for educators with a friendly interface. So that is the plan. For the achievement of this grant, we successfully get a gold medal in I-PICTL 2022, and we have a copyright software for this software, and we publish a work in the Scopus listed journals and in my site journal. And of course, there is one more going journal submission, because as promised to my team, I should have co-authored them, put them as a co-author in this work. So this is basically the system architecture, whereby involved the system web cloud-based system and mobile app system. So the system are combinations of mobile apps and the cloud-based system. So this is a software that involved the development. We have Visual Studio, Firebase, Unity, Vuforia, Blender to create the 3 models, Google Drive to put to modify the 3 model and put that as a Unity asset bundle, GitHub, and Heroku for our deployment and hosting services for the web applications. HTML, this is the language that we use, HTML5, CSS3, JavaScript, PHP 7, C#, Bootstrap 5, and library to display to the model in web browser 3.js. So basically, this is the quite fast. Basically, this is our system. This is a system that the students can use, educators can use. So there, of course, there are 3 users as normal: users, admin, super admin. And you can download, install the apps. Quite fast. I speed up the video. So as like normal, like our Putra Blast, we have a cost management, we have user management, we have the course code. And we can update the code, update the course, registered user profile, like a normal main hub, like a normal system, cloud-based system. So we can sign up. And there are 3 users, as I said, users, normal users, admin, and super admin. So we can also upload any file from our storage, like normal Putra Blast, and also we can upload the videos. This for augmented reality model, you can upload it there. So that when you want to use the apps, once you open up your apps, you can retrieve immediately, real time, the object, and it will stay there, even though you start browsing other things. So until you did not go, until if you still stay using the apps, the object is still there. Okay, I skip this. And this is the apps, the mobile apps. Whatever you edit in the system, it will be retrieved to these apps. So you don't have to go back to the developers to modify your apps. This is for the AR elements. Unfortunately, we did not record the hologram elements in here. This is still copy. It should be turned around the handphone and then put in the HMD for the students can see. The marker actually in the cloud base, not on the printed, but for the testing we put on a paper. So from the feedback that we test to users for the management system applications, this is some of the comment. It's a bit confusing for the exit button, but overall it's okay. A good apps that can be used to share any lecture and information in these medical educations. Everything was good and amazing. Brilliant application which is very insightful and caters to medical education. Would love to see it expand into other areas of medicine. Very interesting and unique. However, for the mobile apps, the comment is efficient and user-friendly on mobile. However, I prefer desktop more. That's how we need to further research on this. And the other comment is excellent. So our project result depends on users' internet connection speed and stability. The Putra MedHub application performance can be affected by factors like the cloud database server and online web hosting, which we use on that time is Heroku. The administrator managed 3D models by converting them into streaming assets file using Unity and uploading them on Google Drive. The administrator also sets the fixed length manually in each AR seat. Augmented can improve students' learning experience by stimulating and supporting learning activities. Holographic display, however, have the potential to enhance students' learning experience, but they require further refinement and strategic implementations. Then the question is, why not web AR or web-based apps? Right. So if people understand what is web AR or web-based apps, they will know that when you use these web-based apps, you the whole time will need the internet. Then it is not suitable at this moment in Malaysia. I think we have to wait another 2 or 3 years. So thank you. That's the end of my presentations. I don't know whether I'm quite fast or longer than it should be. I give back to the MC.
You're on time, Prof. No worries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Yang Berbahagia, Professor Dr. Rahmita. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Azmah Saad, who will share insight into her project, a simulation animation of 3D lung respiratory system with augmented reality as interactive medical learning. Please welcome Dr. Azmah.
Okay, thank you for the kind introduction. I am Dr. Azmah from the Faculty of Medicine and Health Science. So I will share my screen. All right, sorry. Can you all see my slides? Okay, so the title of my slide is a simulation animation of the 3D lung respiratory system with augmented reality as an interactive medical learning. So these are my team members, which are Prof. Rahmita herself, Dr. Nur Izzah, Dr. Azamin, Dr. Maslinda, and Dr. Razif. So due to PKP, my grant was, I think the duration was about 4 years. It was like from 16th March 2020 to 15th January 2024, and I received about 25,000 ringgit Malaysia, Alhamdulillah. And the problem statement is because I find medical students have difficulty in understanding the respiratory module itself, especially in regards with anatomy and the ventilatory physiology. So we decided to develop an app which has augmented reality of the lung and also the ventilatory aspect in the physiology as a learning and teaching and learning tool for the students and lecturer alike. So, well, what we did was, first is we scanned the lungs of a patient, and then we created a 3D model image, and from there, we proceeded to print out a 3D model of the lung itself. Okay, then from then on, we took that model and we created the AR image of the lungs. And from then, we did a study involving the second-year medical students in UPM in finding the impact of the learning motivation amongst the medical student in UPM. So this is the creation. I think I will introduce to you what the app is. Okay, I'm starting the video. So this is the interface. We will see. This is regarding the res bar, and we have introduction, anatomy, physiology, and also the explanation and anatomy visions notes So what we do is, besides that, the student can actually visualize the 3D image of the lungs. Okay, this is a relatively a cheaper version, I would say, the first version that we came out. So it is not as clear as it should be. Okay, but it's okay. All right, and then we proceeded with doing a video on the physiology of the lungs regarding the inspiration and expiration of the lungs. And we have the 3D image where you can see the lung expansion and the lung expanding during inspiration. So yeah, and we have the notes as well. So that means this app actually has the auditory, the vision aspect of learning, and also the kinesthetic aspect. And for someone who likes to read, we have the notes as well. So we have almost every type of learning that we can engage the students to learn regarding the anatomy of the lungs and the ventilatory cycle. So, and for as feedback, we have 5 SAQ questions. Okay, so to see whether the student understand what is the app trying to teach them. Okay, all right, and then this is the second innovation where we created a 3D model of the lung through 3D printing, and we are currently using it in the Museum Anatomy in Faculty of Medical Health and Sciences. So yeah, so the student can see the model itself or use the app to visualize the augmented reality of the lungs. Okay, and now we proceed on with another video on the third innovation, which I would say a better app than the previous one. Okay. So this is the interface where they have anatomy, physiology, and quiz. And this is the marker, which we can actually visualize a number of things. We can visualize the mediastinal surface of the lungs. And in fact, this can be rotated posteriorly, anteriorly, superiorly, inferiorly, but it's not demonstrated here. Along with the lobes and fissures, yeah, the student can get a clearer picture by just rotating it himself, just by touching on the screen itself. So it's quite easy, and we have the notes as well. So the students can read up the information that they get from the augmented reality that they visualize in this app. So this is the ventilatory ventilation, which is the inspiration and expiration. You can see that this is far more stable and actually better than the previous prototype. And this is regarding the ventilatory cycle. So you can see that in this app, it is actually better than the one previously because it has a lot more information than the previous app prototype. But we do try to use it together to make it more comprehensive. Okay, and this is the quiz that we have to see whether the students understand what the app is trying to achieve. Okay, all right. So and these are the results that we got for the ventilatory app. Okay, so the perception of the mainly what we did was the study was within first year to fifth year of medical students in UPM. So they perceive the app, 90% of the students perceive the app to be useful. Yeah, and about 95% says that the app actually will ease the comprehension of their study in learning anatomy and ventilatory physiology. So that's very important. And more importantly, a recent study where we did a pre and post test based on a questionnaire, we found that the actual ventilatory app, after the post test, the attention, relevance, confidence, and satisfaction brought about by the app on studying the respiratory, there was an increased percentage of significance difference. So that means in about 20%, I say, 8 to 20% of the students find it helpful. So yeah, and that means maybe in a way, augmented reality is another teaching and learning tool which can be assimilated in the module system to teach the medical student regarding the ventilatory systems. Okay, so achievement, well, we have one paper in my site, and currently there's one inshallah will be published in a Scopus in the early 2024, and these are the other publication that I have done with the grant received, alhamdulillah. And I also have a copyright for the Respiratory app and the ventilatory app, and I have won many awards based on the respiratory and Respiratory apps, alhamdulillah. And the recent one was the best paper and best presentation award at the 6th International Academic Conference. Okay, talking about challenges, well, actually, there were many challenges that I had to face. One was during COVID. Yeah, everybody had to face that. So we were on our MCO, and that was a tough period. And following that, in the year last year, yeah, 1st September 2022, I was diagnosed with meningioma of the right parietal region, and I was operated. So at that time, I was on MC for 6 months. That's why my project was abruptly stopped. So and alhamdulillah, I came to CADe and asked for an extension on for my GIPP, and I was given right through January 2024. That means giving me a chance to compete in the competition stated above, and showing what I have done based on the GIPP given to me. So I am very much grateful for that. And the future, well, I would like the respiratory app be extended, maybe to include histology, pharmacology, pathology, and extending right to one whole respiratory module, so that could be used for students and teachers alike to teach respiratory system. So with that, I thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Azmah Saad, for the presentation just now. Now, let's continue with the third presenter of the day. We would like to welcome Dr. Razif Abbas, alias Buang, with his project titled The Effect of Human Embryology, 2D Animation, and on Anatomy Knowledge and Perception among Medical Students in UPM. The floor is yours, Doctor.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Very good afternoon. Everyone boleh nampak ke?
Boleh.
Okay, boleh. And can hear my voice, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much for the organizer to give the opportunity for me to present our findings using the GIPP grant. Can you see my cursor?
Can.
Okay. So I will talk about our project, educational project, research project, grant, GIPP, entitled The Effects of Newly Developed Embryogenesis 2D Animation on Embryology Knowledge and Perception among Medical Students in UPM. Okay, the offer letter, that grant that we received, and it's comprised of the other 6 team members, different faculty and also different university for Dr. Siti Faza now in Wirza already. So these are our grant chat that we managed to get ready. We managed to settle on time. And also, okay, then I would want to talk about our background. Okay, just before I proceed with my research, this is the background of the embryology syllabus for the medical degree student in UPM. So the embryology is the curriculum is embedded in the anatomy subject, and it's been taught 2 years during preclinical students, okay, first year and second year. So the embryology is divided into general embryology and systemic embryology. So now I will focus my research project. I will focus on the general embryology. So general embryology is being taught during the first semester of the first academic year in the very first module once they register as a medical student in UPM. Okay, so why I want to do this research? Okay, so we know that the problem statement is the medical student always bored and dissatisfied with the current delivery methods of the embryology, which I compare to other components of anatomy such as histology and gross anatomy. They have component practical, which they can hands-on. But however, only one component in anatomy, which is embryology, there's no components of hands-on. So that's why we think we might do something for increase the perception, we increase the interest of them. So for significance of the study, which want to show is it the knowledge and understanding toward the embryology learning. And then our research question is this 2D animation effectively in improving knowledge and perception. Then our objective to evaluate the 2D animation effects. So this is our review paper published in 2022. We review what are the multimedia that been used in embryology teaching worldwide. And you can see there's none multimedia approach in embryology teaching in Malaysia or even in Southeast Asia. So that's what I'm thinking, why not I start with something to make it more interest. So our study comprised of the 3 phases. As usual, the first one is for the user acceptance test among all the pre-medical students. And then followed by the phase 2, we do all batches, year 1 until year 5, which they already undergone the general embryology subject. Okay, batch 22-23. And the phase 3 recently, last month, we performed the intervention for the new intake first year medical student, batch 2023 and 2024. Okay, only first year. For user acceptance test result for the phase 1, and you can see all 5 components show the positive findings. Usability, memorability, learnability, understanding, and motivation, all in the positive findings about 80, the minimum is 82%. Okay, and we receive a comment and feedback of the animation, and we amend and we improvise the animation accordingly to suit their need. Okay, so the phase 2 and phase 3, okay, this is our conceptual framework. Dependent variable is knowledge and perception, what I just mentioned just now. And our independent variable or covariates include the gender, the ethnicity, the phase of clinical study for the phase 2, or the pre-degree background or for the phase 3. And then we perform the intervention. For our intervention is the 2D animation. Okay, so we hired the animator, we hired the book illustrator, okay, for animation and illustrator for the book for our project. And these are the results. The animation comprise of the 3 weeks of development. So it's involved first week development, comprised of fertilization and cleavage, a second week development to develop bilaminar germ-disc, and third week of development to develop trilaminar germ-disc. Then this is a study location, is our faculty. This is cross-sectional study, and we perform the purposive sampling all year in phase 2 and only the first year for the phase 3. The instrument we use is a questionnaire, is comprised of the 3 sections, section A, B, and C. Section A is also demographic. Section B is embryology knowledge, which comprises of single best answer question, 10 single best answer question. And section C is embryology perception, with 10 5-point Likert scale question. The validity, the knowledge, the expert content of anatomy is read vigorously. And for the perception, we use for the previous article Minhat et al. For the perception components. So we use a t-test for the parametric test, for the parametric component, for the parametric analysis, and Wilcoxon rank sum test for the non-parametric analysis. So this is the component of the section B and C. You can see the combat alpha is good, 0.6, both for the knowledge and perception. This is an example of the question of the knowledge. You can see the first question and A, B, C, D, you just choose one. And the perception, the section C, you can see there's 10 questions also. You can choose either scale 1, 2, 3, or 5. So it have also the negative question as well. Okay, so just make sure, this is our animation video. I might share with you what is our product, maybe a few minutes. Its total is 9 minutes. Let me see. I hope you can watch the video. Okay, can you?
Hello,
Okay, can you hear the
welcome
sound?
to this present.
Can you hear the? I play the video now.
Yes, yes. Can hear clearly.
Presentation
Okay,
on
okay, good.
2D
Just
animation. I will illustrate and explain the germinal stage of the early embryogenesis period. Good luck. First week of development. Upon fertilization, secondary oocyte is stimulated to complete the second meiotic division. Hence, it will restore a diploid number of chromosome is restored.
okay, fast forward.
Multicellular embryo. The first few cleavages take place inside the fallopian tube.
Okay, let me proceed. Maybe in the second week of development.
Second week of development. A blastocyst is partially embedded in the uterus at day 8 of the development. The trophoblast differentiates into 2 layers, which are cytotrophoblast mononucleated and syncytid trophoblast multinucleated without distinct cell boundaries. The embryoblast will differentiate into hypoblast, small cuboidal cells, and epiblast high columnar cell. A fibrin coagulum closes the penetration defect. Later, the trophoblast development phase,
Okay, about
which
third week
is
of development.
subsequently, gastrulation is the most notable event that occurs during the third week of pregnancy. The gastrulation process starts with the formation of a primitive streak derived from the proliferation of the cells of the epiblast. During gastrulation, cells of the epiblast migrate toward the primitive streak. The cells become flask-shaped upon arrival, detach from the epiblast, and slip beneath the primitive streak. Once the epiblast cells have invaginated, some
Some acknowledgement to them, to my team member. Okay, thank you very much. Let me continue again. Okay, is it? Okay, so can you see again my PowerPoint? Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear, Doctor.
Okay, thank you. Now this is a flow diagram for the phase 2, May 2023. Pre-test questionnaire online for section A, B, and C I just mentioned just now, and we proceed with the immediate exposure for the animation, and we assess unlimitedly to them for 5 days, and we proceed with the post-test questionnaire. It consists of section A, which is demographic, B, which is knowledge, and C is the perception. Okay, so this is an example how we perform the online intervention. We perform the QR code, as we provide the QR code as well. For the phase 3, last month, for the new intake, it's same, but for the intervention, we divide into 2 groups. Group 1 is animation. Group 2, we provide the lecture notes only. Okay, so this is the group that never been exposed to the general embryology course, medical student. So these are the group are being randomized using grouping generator, same as well as the immediate exposure, and we give unlimited access for 5 days. And it also have section A, B, and C. Okay, so this is how we conduct physically the first year medical student last month for pre-intervention and post-intervention. Okay, then these are the result. Okay, for the phase 2 is about 144 respondents. This is the section A, demographic distribution for the gender, ethnicity, and clinical phase. We can solve when we know the scores of the knowledge and perception both are significantly high after the animation. Okay, for the knowledge, we use the t-test because of the parametric. For the perception, non-parametric, we use the Wilcoxon RAM test. Okay, these are the results, the subcomponent results of the knowledge. Okay, you can see the male and female, both gender are increased in knowledge significantly. Also the races increased in knowledge significantly, and also the phase of the clinical study, right? Either preclinical or clinical student increased significantly of the knowledge after watch our animation. Okay, same goes to the perception. Okay, all right, except for the Azmah NCT, it might be number of the N is low. Okay, then we go to the phase 3. Okay, the recent finding. The respondent rate 24 group 1 in animation group and 22 only respond for the lecture note group 2. Okay, total group is 50 students. This is the socio-demographic distribution. Okay, and we know the scores. You can see the knowledge and perception. Okay, the knowledge, sorry, the animation is a black color, and the conventional lecture notes is a gray color. Okay, you can see the knowledge for the animation is increased significant in post knowledge score. Okay, however, in lecture note, there's not significant improvement of the knowledge score. But then we go to the perception. Okay, both perception are low regardless animation or lecture note. I think maybe because they feel that this is the difficult subject. Okay, but never been encountered in the embryology. However, it reduced significantly the perception of the lecture note as compared to the animation. Okay, this is general. And we go to the sub-component of the knowledge. We know the knowledge is increased, and we realize the female is increased, is a significant increase in the knowledge, as well as the Chinese race increase in the knowledge score. All right. So discussion, we think that multimedia in embryology classes not only improve student comprehension, but also motivate them to learn more. Gender differences might not play a significant role in determining the effectiveness of inquiry-based learning for developing student metacognitive skill. Ethnicity would play a significant role as different ethnic cultures contribute diverse ideas and strategies to the learning process, and contradict the result of the study, which found that the median difference in the post-test and pre-test knowledge score were higher among upper-level students. I mean that 5th year or 4th year, it might be increased, but it's none here. It's almost the same. Okay, so these are the limitation of our study. First of all, it's limitation of the budget. We can perform the 3D animation if we have more budget for the GIPP. So it's occur in the exam week, and some of the reluctancy make the unbalanced numbers of the pre and post test, and it's occur in Hari Raya. It's public holiday. It's difficult to get the respondent as well during the phase 2. And this is our future direction. We might study the longer term. We might study after they graduate the medical student. We want to see their knowledge. Larger sample size mean we proceed or we distribute to other university as well. Okay, and we might do animation for growth and histology. As I mentioned just now, even though growth and history has the hands-on component with practical, why not we proceed? We introduce with the animation as well. And we might, if the extra budget, we might proceed with 3D or even 4D animations of embryology. So these are the conclusion. Overall, it's improved embryology knowledge and perception. Female had greater improvement. Preclinical student had greater improvement, and Malay improved the most in perception score. Chinese increased significantly in knowledge score. So I just want to show our abstract proceeding in few conferences for this project, GIPP project. We also managed to publish the book for this one, for our embryology, because we already have the illustration. Then why not we proceed with the book? So it just published last August and under UTM Press. Okay, and we also won the pertandingan amalan university, but it's only peringkat fakulti, but it's not the winner, just as first runner up, second place. Okay, so this I'm going to present these all things in the New Zealand for anatomy conference in somewhere end of the November. Okay, so I would like to thank all my group member, including me, 7 of them, and the medical student, also the group 15 medical student who run the questionnaire intervention for their second year project. All right, I think that's all from me for sharing. Tak sehebat Dr. Azmah, banyak anugerah. So that's only I want to share. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Razif Abbas, for the very interesting presentation just now. Please allow me to introduce our last presenter for this session, Dr. Farina Mustafa Kamal. She will be sharing her insights into the development of peer assessment and feedback mobile-based application prototype for student-centered learning activity. Again, please welcome Dr. Farina.
Right. Okay, thank you for the introduction, and also to CADe-Lead for the invitation to present my GIPP project on development of peer assessment and feedback mobile-based application prototype for SEL activity. So probably before I start, just a bit on this app. Is actually we coined the name as My Best UPM. So best stands for Body Evaluation System, right? So so this app is actually a mobile-based app, and it is used for peer assessment and also for group assessment for the activities, teaching and learning activities based on SEL. So it can be assessed through this website, okay, www.mybest.upm.edu.my. Only that I mean, if anyone wants to use it, so you have to, I have to provide the username and password to you, okay? And for now, it has been used within our faculty for several courses since 2019. So how actually so what is actually the trigger point for us to develop this app? So as we know that there's a lot of SEL activities that we usually conduct in our courses. So sometimes I usually get complaints from the students that some of their group mates actually free riding, okay, the assignments. So they did not actually give equal contribution, okay, to the completion of the assignment. So so obviously, okay, peer assessment is one of the tools that we can use to address those issues, okay, of free riding, right? So at that point of time, 2019, there were no free app, okay, that allow us to do the peer assessment or even group assessment. Is usually done manually on papers, and then the marks, okay, accumulation, okay, need to be done manually by the lecturers. So we actually brainstorm, okay, what we need to include in the app, and then we working with a developer closely, so we managed to develop this app, and it was copyrighted, okay, on December 31st, 2019. So so let's explore, okay, the component of this app. So basically, it's very simple, okay. Basically, we have two layers, okay, which are the lecturers and also the students, right? So the lecturers have to input, okay, all those items, right? And then the students actually will need to input the marks, okay, the peer marks, okay, or the group marks, right? And then they can also provide actually feedback. Okay, sorry, I forgot to share the the slideshow. Okay, so so do you see my my notes as well? But probably, I'm doing the double monitor, so let me switch off this one first. Okay. Right. So are you seeing the presenter slides or the? Can someone respond? Can you see the full slideshow?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Good. All right. So so we need input, okay, from the lecturers first, okay. Basically on the name and then the subject code, the list of the students. So this will need to be uploaded via CSV file, and then the grouping as well, and then the lecturer has to set, okay, the assessment based on rubrics. So these rubrics are based on 5 Likert point scale, and then but whatever the categories can be customized, okay, by the lecturer. okay, and then only the students can actually input the marks, okay, depending on the type of assessment, whether it's peer or is group assessment. And also they could also provide feedback, okay. So this is a video just to show you how the lecturers can set, okay, the rubrics. So this is example of peer assessment. So this one is already in within this app, okay. But I mean, you can actually input it manually, the categories, right? And then once you have input it in, then the next time you can just tick, okay, on which of the categories that you want, and then there's 5-point Likert scale, right? So for group as well, okay, depending on the categories that you want to assess, okay. So this one is already by default in there, but you can always input your own categories. Okay, all right. So then after the students actually input the marks, so we can actually see, okay, those students that haven't actually assessed their peers or assessed the other groups, right? So then the lecturers will be able to chase those who haven't done the assessment, right? And then once this has been finalized in terms of the students assessing the peers or the groups, then what are the outputs, right, that can be seen, okay, by the lecturers and also by the student. So the output for the lecturers will be the average marks, okay, per student, right? Or if you want to look at the raw marks, okay, you can always see the individual marks as well. So if it's group assessment, you can see the average mark of the particular group, okay, and this is in the form of Excel. Okay, so this is another video showing you the output, okay. So view report. So example, the number of students that yet to complete the peer assessment. So there are lists there. So you can download it and it will appear as the one on the right, okay, the Excel file. Right. So what will be, I mean, what can be seen by the student? So student will see the average marks, okay, of whether it's peer or group marks. So, but these marks can only be seen as by the students only when the lecturers actually initiate, okay, the release result button. So this is the example of what the student would see, okay. So yeah, so for example, this particular student get 11 out of 15 for peer, and then for group evaluation, 9.5 out of 15. So they will not be able to see the individual assessment, okay, by their peers. They can only see the average marks. So this app is totally confidential, okay, because it's always, I mean, when we have this kind of peer assessment, is all the students are always afraid of the repercussion, okay, by their group mates. So so as long as it is a confidential process, then the students are a bit confident, okay, on giving the fair assessment, okay, to their colleagues. Right. So what are the uniqueness of My Best UPM? So as I mentioned just now, it's user-friendly, it's straightforward, and we really brainstorm of what are needed, okay, for peer assessment or group assessment to be done. And then I mean, in terms of flexibility, you can always use whatever categories that you want to assess, okay, whether the assignment is based on poster presentation or project development. So it you can tailor it, okay, to be dynamic according to what are the expectation. Okay, and the information given are based on real time, so you can see the marks, okay, as it is, right, at the particular point of time, right? So the impact, okay, so I divided impact into 3 different categories, okay, to the students. As I mentioned, the assessment is done confidentially, okay, so there's no repercussion, okay, from the colleagues, and then this will also ease the process of feedbacks, okay, among the students. And then for the lecturers itself, okay, it saves us the time and energy, right, to actually manually, okay, basically manually doing the calculation, okay, to get the average marks for each of the students, for example, or each of the groups, okay. And then for the UPM in a whole, okay, we can basically, in terms of the environment, right, there's less papers used, right? So that will be the benefit. And then in terms of looking at the POs, okay, so the POs that are basically effective POs, okay, basically you can always use this My Best UPM, okay, to help you assess the students. So these are summary of the surveys that I did, okay, among the students and also the lecturers as well. I think at the end there, okay, I also asked for some comments, right? So yeah, the comments are systematic, student friendly, okay, easy, functional, and it saves time. So what's next, okay, for My Best UPM? So we have been awarded another grant, the IPP grant, okay, ending soon, right? So we are still in the under testing, okay, for the My Best UPM 2.0. So basically what we added into this revised version, okay, of My Best UPM is that we have a layer, another layer, okay. Just now we only have lecturers and students. Now we have administrator. So basically, for registration of the users, okay, across UPM, because before this, we have to rely with the developers, okay, on adding more accounts. And then in terms of another assessment that we incorporated in, okay, which is the skill assessment. Usually in vet school and also the medical school, we have what we call as objective structured clinical examination, where we assess students' competency in some clinical skills. So this is very taxing process, okay. Then it involves a lot of assessors, right? So with this app, it will allow all those marks, okay, all those marks, okay, be basically channeled in, okay, using this My Best UPM 2.0, right? And then another thing that we revised is that before this, the login is just based on username that we created ourselves, but then to be easier, so login will be based on UPM email, and if for any notifications, okay, will be sent directly to UPM email. Previously there were no notifications, so we have to check the app, okay, daily, okay, during the assessment process. So before I end, I would like to acknowledge, okay, my collaborator, Dr. Maslina Zulkifli from FSKTM, and the developer that we work with, okay, Encik Syahiran. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Farina, for your presentation. So I-PICTL2023 will be taking a short break to research and reconvene at 2:30 for our Web Talk 2 session. We have an important update to share regarding our scheduled speaker for the next session after lunch. Unfortunately, Dr. Linda Amrin Cooper, the Director of Academic Practice in Online and Distance Education at the University of London, is unable to be with us due to unforeseen circumstances. We understand that the anticipation surrounding Dr. Amran Cooper inside, and we regret any inconvenience this change may cause. However, we are excited to announce an alternative that we believe will still offer tremendous value to our audience. In lieu of Dr. Amran Cooper's presentation, we are fortunate to bring you a compelling TED Talk video titled How AI Could Save, Not Destroy Education, presented by Sal Khan, the founder and CEO of Khan Academy. Mr. Khan is a renowned expert in the field, and his thoughts on positive transformation that AI can bring to education are both insightful and inspiring. We believe that Sal Khan's presentation will provide valuable perspectives and ignite engaging discussion. We appreciate your understanding regarding this change, and we are confident that you will find this alternative session both informative and thought-provoking. So grab your heartiest lunch, stretch your legs, and be prepared for an enlightening session ahead. We'll resume at 2:30 later. Stay tuned.